In 1998, Samantha Robinson was a mother of two, enjoying life and pregnant with her third child. But soon, she began to deal with what she now remembers as
the headache that would not go away.
Everywhere.
And it continued right up to her delivery.
I had a major headache. The whole time I was in labor, I kept telling them, I cannot do this. My head is going to explode.
Eventually, Samantha gave birth to her beautiful daughter, Summer. The newborn was a bright light in the Robinson family, but there were darker days to come.
She was all excited to take her baby home. She went home from the hospital and she had told them at the hospital, that her head was hurting, and she told me, Mama, my eyes keep doing funny things.
And things would only get worse for the new mom.
There was a message from her girlfriend, Rose Marie, who says, Mama, you need to get to the hospital. We went straight to the Methodist Hospital, and when I got there, I was greeted with I couldn't go back there, and that my daughter was dying and she would make it through the night, and I needed to call my family. Whole right side of the brain was covered with blood. She had what they called a brain bleed. When I got to her room, she told me, she said, Mama, I'm scared. And then right after she said that, she arched back and just went into an arch, almost like doing a back bend. And they came in and took me out of the room, and everybody started working on her. We were waiting in that waiting room, and this young man walks in the door, and his name was...
I'm Donald Hilton. I'm a neurosurgeon here in San Antonio.
He says, I go to church with your daughter, and he says, I'm not the doctor on duty. However, I have prayed, and God has guided me that he wants me to do this surgery.
We took her to surgery and essentially removed the bleeding, removed the blood clot, which was creating the pressure.
This man that comes along is like an angel walking into the room.
Absolutely.
She had a very serious brain hemorrhage, and it was creating pressure inside her head, and this pressure was life-threatening. Any of my colleagues would have done the same thing. It's what we do, and I happened to be there. But I was certainly felt honored and privileged to help take care of her.
Another physician who was in the room during Samantha's surgery shared this with her mother, Julie.
He said, it was the most phenomenal surgery I have ever witnessed. Before they touched your daughter, they all put hands on and prayed and asked for a blessing. And he said that he felt like there was a miracle. He says, I don't know how Samantha's going to do, but she made it through the surgery. I went in and I took her clothes off and I undressed her and I put that baby on her chest and I told her, Samantha, wake up because your baby needs you. We need you. You have to wake up. You have to wake up. This is your baby needs you. It was a miracle, really, and anyway, when she woke up, they told me that she would have to have someone take care of her, that she'd never be able to care for herself again.
9 months in rehab and a second surgery.
She came home in a wheelchair and braces, and she was like a baby learning how to talk all over again. She put her hand on my chest. My baby. And she took that one from me. And she lived on the floor, basically. She had the baby on a blanket. She would take her foot with her left hand and drop that dead foot on top of that baby and hold her in place, change her diaper, better with one hand than I could do with two.
Samantha's condition soon became too much for her then husband, Dan.
And he told me straight out, Mom, she's not the girl I married.
He decided to leave the marriage.
He couldn't deal with her handicap.
But with the support of family, Samantha made it.
Her whole life was different. Her memories, a lot of them are gone. And it was like inheriting a brand new child. She learned how to cook. She learned how to feed her baby and dress her. And she learned how to walk. And she learned how to drive a car. After less than a year, she moved out on her own.
And for those who believed Samantha would never be independent again, well, she's now independently responsible for serving up fresh goods at the Great Harvest Bread Company in Castle Hills.
This is the best job that I can have. I love people. I love my customers. My customers love me.
She's a very giving person, and she cares about our business here. She cares about her friends and neighbors, and she lives her life that way.
So many people you hear that have something happen to them and they say, "Why me, God? Why do I deserve this?" And she's never, ever, ever said that. She understood God's reasoning for this.
I can't question. It would be wrong to question. You know, Heavenly Father knows what needs to be done, and we just have to deal with it. There's no reason to sit there with your hand out. Get up and do it yourself. I know that there is a God, and I know that He takes care of me.
And Samantha says there's now more proof of that in a little something we call the Mi Casa Makeover.
I'm blessed for this to happen, and now it's going to be a, oh my gosh, beautiful house. That's okay. Thank you.